quick notes from Eric Thomas this morning, a couple quick things to pay attention to. Are you taking ownership? You know, we talk about that a lot on these calls. You taking ownership of your life. Remember, entrepreneurial mindset. You'll hear it a lot. People believe you should be an entrepreneur. I just believe you should be more entrepreneurial minded, meaning you take more ownership of your life. You say, if it is to be, it's up to me. I'm going to control this part of it. If it's my health, if it's my relationships, if it's my family, if it's my finances, if it's what I do for work, whatever it is, I'm going to take ownership of that part. I'm going to take ownership. The goal is to take ownership of all the areas of our life so that we can actually go off and design our ideal life. It's the only way we get there is if we have ownership of it. So again, just a message repeated from ET, something that you've heard here a bunch. But where are you at it? Where are you in taking ownership? Have you fully taken ownership of your health? Just start small. Have you fully taken ownership of the relationships that you're in? Whether it be right with your spouse, with your parents, with your children, do you fully take ownership of it? Do you fully take ownership of your career, of how you make money, of your financial habits? These are the areas that we get better. This is how we get to design our ideal life. Little keys like this. Success leaves clues. You got to make sure we are taking full ownership of our life. Full ownership of our life. I wrote down a couple other things, right? That the diamond analogy. We hear that a bunch. The diamond analogy. People want to be a diamond, right? But you got to withstand the pressure. You got to withstand the heat. You got to withstand being cut. That's how you become a diamond. The diamonds are built with extreme pressure. So if you are feeling pressure in your life, it's because you have the potential to be a diamond. Only way you can actually see that come to fruition and see that happen for your life is if you stay in the pressure. You stay having pressure being put on you. You learn how to live in that state. You learn how to live being uncomfortable, right? The old comfortable being uncomfortable because there's constant pressures. Turns you into a diamond. The heat, being in the fire, when all the stuff around you is burning, when life looks like it's crazy, when, right, there's no situation for you to turn to, for you to stand on, you're in the fire. How long can you stay in the fire? How mentally tough can you be in the fire? How much gratitude can you still have in the fire? How much patience can you still have in the fire? How much love, joy, peace do you have in the fire? That's how you get tested to become a diamond, by staying in the heat, staying in the fire. And then what about getting cut? What about being cut? When something hurts you, when someone hurts you, when someone stabs you in the back, when your child says something about you, whatever the case is. Can you withstand? Can you stay in that process? That's how we become a diamond. Most people don't want to stay in that process for too long. We're trying to rush our way out of that process. But if you want to go design your ideal life, you want to go do something great with your life, well, then these are some of the things that you got to do. Can't get what we don't ask for. And that was the message of ET's thing was we got to ask. You got to ask for it. Closed mouths don't get fed. You got to ask for what you want. You got to ask for what you want, whether that's in your prayer time, in your devotion time, you asking for what you want, whether it's in right your daily interactions, asking your spouse for what you want, asking your employer for what you want, asking that person for the sale. Like you got to ask, you got to open up your mouth, you got to ask for what you want. But the question that he posed in there, which was real subtle at the beginning, he said, who do I need to become in order to execute these things? Ask yourself, who do I need to become? Who do you need to become to get to your ideal life? Because the man or woman we are right now is not going to be the person that's able to bring in $2 million a year in income, that's able to sustain the business, that's able to travel the world the way they want to, the way they want to, have time freedom and financial freedom. You are not that person just yet. You have the seeds of that person. You're not that person just yet. Otherwise, you would have it. So who is the person that you need to become in order to get those things? That's a question to ask yourself. Who do I need to become? And know that whoever you need to become, is going to come down to you learning new things. Whoever it is that you need to become is going to come from you learning new things, learning how to become different, learning how to think differently, learning how to have a different emotional response to things, learning how to not let certain things bother you, learning how to not be around certain people, learning certain things in sales, learning certain things in marketing, learning certain things in relationships, learning things about industry, learning things about your health, learning things about people, right? Like learning is going to take you to that next place where you can become the man or woman that God called you to be. It's through you learning. And so if we are arrogant, if we have some pride and ego around some of our skills and abilities and our life experiences, we might not think we have much more to learn. We might go through the process of thinking that we know all that we need to know in order to get to where we want to go. It's not the case. We gotta remain learning machines. We got to continue to elevate. There's more tools, there's more information, there's more knowledge that you need. There's more resources. You got to know that you got to raise your hand and ask that question. When you get in that room of people that you don't fully understand the conversations, you have to raise your hand and ask a question. You got to get the information. That way you're not going to be in that position ever again. But you got to know the great ones are learning machines. Here's what it says in the text. It says, for most people in modern Western culture, learning means memorizing facts, theories, theorems, and dates. That's what most of us were taught to do in school. To average people, learning is a late night cram session and a pot of coffee to stay awake. Professional performers have overcome this outdated industrial age system and created a formula for learning and developing their minds. As speaker Jim Rohn says, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. The pros know this to be accurate and invest heavily in books, tapes, and CD programs on everything from personal development to business sales, marketing, and management. They read and study trade journals and become world-renowned experts. Average people spend less than $10 annually on books. The top 1% of income earners in America invest nearly $10,000 annually on books and other learning resources. They attend seminars, workshops, and retreats. Amateur performers look at these investments as a waste of time and money. They're more likely to invest their money in lottery tickets, satellite television, cigarettes, alcohol, and other forms of entertainment. The great ones in the world of scientific genius, Buckminster Fuller, dare to be naive. In the words of scientific genius Buckminster Fuller, dare to be naive. Dare to be naive. The middle class thinks they have little left to learn. World-class performers know the more they learn, the greater the level of awareness they reach. The greater the level of awareness, the more they realize how much more there is left to learn. The great ones know learning, like love, is infinite. There is no end until the heart stops beating. Is that how you look at learning? Is that how you look at your learning? That it's a never-ending thing, that it's infinite, that you can't wait to keep learning more things? Because the process is, again, the greater level of awareness, the more you realize how much left you have to learn. I've given this example before, but I see this happen all the time when it comes to money. You know, we're in the money business, so we talk a lot about money with people. I see this happen a lot. There's a lot of people that middle class that feel like they know everything they need to know about money. And they're actually a lot more arrogant and kind of prideful than people that have way more money than them, that are always open to learning and eager to talking about how something could benefit them more, some type of information that maybe they didn't know. People with more money, literally more money than most people have, are more open to learning more about money than people that don't have as much money. They're not as open to learning more. It's always funny when I see that dynamic. That the more that people know, the more that they've acquired, the more that they've done well in this area, the more they're like, man, I don't know all this stuff. And yes, I'm open to having a conversation about what I don't know and how that could help and how this could help my family. But then for people that don't have it, their level of awareness maybe isn't where the wealthy person's level of awareness is. And at the same time, they aren't as open. They think they know all that they need to know. They think they know exactly how to get there. So by all means, go ahead. But this can't be us. We can't have this type of this type of mindset. We have to know that we are learning machines. We are constantly here to learn. You do not know all that you need to know. We have to continue to invest in the areas of our growth. If you don't know anything about business, again, read some business books, get around some business people. You need some information on health, read some health books, get around some people that are in a healthier community. You want to know stuff about relationships, how to raise your child, teenagers, whatever it is, read some books on it, listen to some podcasts, get around some people that got other teenagers and start bouncing ideas off each other. At the end of the day, the resources, the information is out there. We have to be lifelong learners to go out and seek the information. We have to be the lifelong learners that say, it's not just what I know now, and I'm not just memorizing some things. I'm going to raise my hand and ask for the information that I need to become the person that I'm destined to become. We're at the level that we are now from the information and the thought processes that we've had. If we can become more aware, get to a greater level of awareness, take in new information, apply new information, we will get new outcomes in our life. Your relationships will get better. Your finances will get better. Your health will get better. Your business will get better. Whatever it is you're trying to improve on, it will get better. If you have a higher level of awareness, you think about those things differently, and then you start applying these new thoughts to your life. Who do you need to become in order to execute on this plan? Who do you need to become? What things do you need to weed away? What things do you need to add in to become the man or woman that's going to design their ideal life? It's a big question, but we need to take time to answer that question, ladies and gentlemen. You got to take some time every day. If you haven't had time for yourself, you haven't had time to sit down and take 20 minutes to yourself, take 30 minutes to yourself. What's a life that we're living? You got 24 hours in the day. We can't take 20 minutes for ourselves. We can't take 30 minutes for ourselves. We can't carve in that time in the morning or carve it out in the middle of the day or carve it out in the evening just to sit with ourselves and be like, man, who is the person I need to become? And then what skills, what things do I need to go acquire in order to become that person? You need to take time to think about it. You answer that question, though, it's going to unlock a lot of things for you. It's going to unlock a lot of things. The best part about getting clear in a plan, in a vision, and where you want to go, the best part about getting clear is that you know what to do and now what not to do. So it becomes easier to say no to some things. It becomes easier to say, yeah, that's not really in line with where I'm going. That's not really going to be able to help me. Even though it could be good or something I would have done in a past season, in this season, I'm not going to do that because it's not helping me get to where I want to go. When you're clear on where you want to go, you can start making those decisions about what to do and what not to do. All of this comes on the back of you learning and growing and becoming better. You got to know that you're a learning machine. Jack Welch's quote up here says, an organization's ability to learn and translate that learning into action rapidly is the ultimate competitive business advantage. The collective organization being able to learn and translate that learning into action with, that good old saying, knowledge is not power. I know we might have heard it that way. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. We all know people that have a lot of knowledge, a lot of information, a lot of book smarts, a lot of things they've read over time, a lot of dissertations that they've gone through that they've can repeat back to you. But they can't fight their way out of a paper bag. They don't have the courage to stand up and have that tough conversation. It's tough for them to go make money. It's tough for them to be able to save money. It's tough for them to be able to stay focused on one thing for a long period of time. They don't have the grit. They might quit on things early. They might not have good people skills. They might have a bunch of knowledge, but they don't know how to apply that knowledge. So that's why applied knowledge is key. This information you're getting, go apply it. Go apply it. Go learn something. Today's action steps is make a commitment to develop your own self-education program. Read, listen, and attend seminars and workshops. Set a goal to read a certain number of books and listen to a certain amounts of, CDs or podcasts or whatever it is. This shift in lifestyle will catapult your career and your consciousness. If you just made a commitment to your own self-education program. When you enroll in school, what do they give you? They give you a curriculum. They say, hey, these are the things to study. These are the days we're going over these things. This is where the chapter test is. This is when the semester ends, right? You have that all written down. What if you did that for yourself, your own personal self-education program? Hey, this month I'm reading this book. Next month is this book. I'm reading two more books in the month of July because I got a little bit more reading time for me. August, I'm going to read this book. I'm going to make sure that I go to this seminar at the end of August. What if you made a commitment to develop that part of yourself? How would your life change? How would your daily habits change? How would the outcomes change? How would you think differently about yourself? This is something to pay attention to. Always know that you're in control of your learning. You're in control of your growth. You're in control of your habits, your actions, your attitudes. You control all of those things, ladies and gentlemen. And so as long as you know, you can take ownership of that part of your life. You can own all of your decisions, own all of the stuff that you go through. We can start to now design our ideal life because now we know what we have to do when we're in that pressure, when we're in that heat, when we're getting cut. We know what we need to do because we know what we're focused on. And so we can get better in the areas we need to. All right. Happy Wednesday. No such thing as hump day. Don't let anyone tell you that. It's not hump day. It's another day. You get one step closer to your goals, one step closer to your dreams, one step closer to the man or woman God called you to be. Hump day is for people that don't like 5 days out of the week. They only like 2. So they're trying to get over the hump. Not you. We love every day because we get another shot to do this. I love you guys. I want y'all to win. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. Go out there, do something this Wednesday that scares you. Push yourself out of the comfort zone a bit more. Do something that gives you a little bit more courage that your future self will thank you for. You're welcome. Love you guys. Enjoy your Wednesday. We'll see you Friday.